A whopping 72% of our planet is covered in water. And for centuries, humans have long been enamored by the thought of exploring this undersea paradise. But for many biological reasons, exploring the deep recesses of the ocean has proven to be, well, kind of difficult for humans. Enter the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, aka the scuba. Being fascinated with marine life myself, scuba diving has always been appealing to me. But it's a lot more difficult than just throwing on a mask and snorkel and hitting the water. But where am I supposed to get certified in the middle of the Rocky Mountains? Well, all I gotta do is find a hole in the ground.
Oh, hi guys.
That water's 95 degrees and it's 65 feet deep all year long.
Homestead Crater is a natural hot spring. It's 100 gallons that comes in from the spring in the bottom a minute, back out 100 gallons a minute. They scuba dive in it, they can swim in it. It's a natural formation. It's made out of about 12 different minerals.
It takes on a really, really blue color. So if you see pictures of it online or on the internet and whatnot, you'll see that it's very blue, and it's not artificial. That's naturally because of the high calcium content of the water. As soon as the light hits it, it is like the Caribbean of Midway.
The crater, as it's been dubbed, has been around for about 10,000 years, as water bubbled to the surface and slowly formed the dome we see today, just west of the city of Heber, Utah.
Well, this all started out flat. The crater did, the water would bubble out and evaporate, would leave the mineral deposits. There's quite a few of the hot spots in the valley, which is really porous where the water flows up through.
It was homesteaded in the second half of the 1800s by the Schneider family, who recognized the unique nature of the formation and its soothing, warm water. Over time, they turned it into a destination where everyone could feel welcome. And in the 21st century, that includes scuba divers from all over the country who come here to learn to dive in a safe and controlled environment. And today, I'm one of them.
Okay, I'm really excited to see what scuba diving's like. I have no frame of reference for this besides like a deep end at the pool.
It's kind of like being an astronaut. You get to float around, no pressure, it's quiet, don't have to listen to anything.
That moment when they overcome that trepidation, that fear that they have of being underwater, and they own it. All of a sudden they come up from the dive going, that is the coolest thing ever. I love that.
Now, before our fins could even touch the water, we had to do a lot of book work and online quizzes. Luckily, there are several different online schools that can get you started on the right track. And sure, while the online portion might not be the most exciting thing in the world, you really get a feel for why all of that was so important when you meet your instructor. This is Eddie.
I just enjoyed it so much, I just kept getting more training until I became an instructor.
Putting on the gear for the first time was an exhilarating experience. Just the thought that I was this close to finally diving to the depths of this crater.
So an important part of scuba diving is knowing how to breathe underwater. And when your regulator falls out, you don't just have to die. I just learned that. There's ways to retrieve it. There's also ways to clear water out from your mask while you're underwater.
So we're about to learn that.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, initially there are those feelings of fear and maybe a little bit of, oh shoot, did I study enough to be down here? But then all of that goes away when you look around you and see the landscape, or seascape, as it were. The feeling of weightlessness is phenomenal. It's probably the closest I'll ever feel of really being an astronaut.
Now they're getting that practical experience where all of us kind of coming together, and they're actually on their second dive. We're able to stay neutral by the platform over here and just sit there and not rise to the surface or sink to the bottom without kicking. Very good. Very comfortable with their skills. Their masculars and reg retrievals were very comfortable underwater and in the confined water area where we were doing them before.
I thought breathing underwater would be really hard, but the deeper you went, actually the easier it was to breathe. Doesn't really make sense, but that's how it worked. So it was really fun. It was fun being able to move around. It's definitely different than just being out in the open air or even just swimming in a swimming pool.
It's a whole new world. I mean, we all go on vacations, some of us get to all over the world, and now this is a new part of the world we can visit that we haven't been able to in the past. And now, because of dive instruction and dive gear being so consistent across the whole field of diving, it's very safe, and a lot of new people are being able to enjoy diving that wouldn't have otherwise, because the gear is so good, makes it so easy to breathe, and the instruction makes you feel so comfortable that you feel confident going out into that ocean.
If you are interested in getting scuba certified, the guys at the Crater are absolutely fantastic. They're a blast to work with, they're going to make sure you're having fun, and they're going to keep you safe. And the Crater is the perfect place to learn, if only because the water feels so good.
Whew.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a certified diver. Big thanks to everybody here at the Homestead. Eddie, fantastic teacher. Guys, there's a whole new world underwater. You've got to explore it. And now that I'm certified, I think it's time for me to find some new places to dive. While I do that, we're at your leisure.